and welcome back to True's Reviews. This is the third episode in my album review podcast series, and this time I am changing the genre. No screaming, no parties, just pure soul pop music with the world's biggest meme, the one and only Rick Astley and his comeback album, 50. If you don't know who Rick Astley is, which is unlikely unless you live under a rock, I'll give a quick introduction. Rick Astley is an English singer-songwriter who produces pop music with a deep soul voice. He has a total of 7 albums, which start from way back in 1987. His first one is Whenever You Need Somebody, followed by Hold Me in Your Arms, Free, Body and Soul, Keep It Turned On, Portrait, and finally 50. Rick Astley is most famous for his #1 hit single Never Gonna Give You Up, which topped the charts in 25 different countries in 1987. This song has become an internet phenomenon known as Rickrolling, and taken from Wikipedia, Rickrolling is a meme which involves unexpected appearance of the music video for Never Gonna Give You Up. It uses a disguised hyperlink, and people that click on the hyperlink have effectively been Rickrolled. Rick Astley's other memorable singles include Together Forever and When I Fall in Love, which are all from his earlier albums in the 1980s and 1990s. Rick Astley disappeared from the music scene in 1993 after the release of his 4th studio album, only to return and then retire from music in 2005. Shortly after, in 2007, was when Rickrolling was born.
You'll all know my name. Yes, you rule the world for now.
Now, despite these dance pop songs being memorable, I have chosen to review Rick's comeback album 50. This album was released in 2016 and is his first album in over 10 years. Fans of Rick Astley gave the album an immediate and amazing response, sending 50 straight to the top of the UK charts within the first week of it being released. Rick Astley came back to the music scene with his same old pop soul combo, and it works beautifully. Compared to his older songs like Never Gonna Give You Up, the songs on 50 suit him more of a singer with his deep riffs and kicking drums to support his booming vocals. After the release of 50, Rick Astley has made many TV appearances and has had many interviews. Here's one he had with Amanda Holden on why he got back into the music scene.
What has made you go back into the studio after all this time?
A number of things, I think. I think I just got to a stage in my life where I've always kind of fiddled around with music. I've always had studios and what have you. And various friends had said to me, look, the stuff you're doing right now is really good. And I was coming up for a milestone birthday of 50, and I kind of just decided, well, you know what, I'll just make a record and we'll see how we go, really. But it didn't start out with that. I didn't really start out to make a record. It just kind of...
So you were making music for yourself, basically?
Yeah, I think a lot of people do. I think if you've been in music and loved music as the way I have, it's been my life, really. I've always dabbled with things. It's just I've not always been really desperate to make a record again, but I just kind of feel comfortable enough to do that now, I think.
And that was Rick Astley talking to Amanda Holden. And I can certainly say that although he hasn't been desperate to make a new album, we have been desperate to hear one. Now that we have 50, I can say personally, I'm not disappointed. This album shows Rick reflecting on his past while also trying to revamp his sound to adjust to the modern age. Unlike his old dance pop music, this album takes a lot of inspiration from gospel, rock and blues music, which makes it sound more diverse and experimental. Rick as an artist has taken a dramatic turn in his style of music, and it has so far worked out for the best.
Yeah, it seems so simple when it rains.
Rick Astley has named this album 50, which represents his milestone birthday that passed 4 months before the album was released. The singer has said in interviews that he named the album after his age, as to him, they both signalled a milestone, one being that he's getting older, and the other being that his dramatic return to music. In the same interview, which I played a clip from, Amanda went on to ask Astley about his album name, and commented on the fact that Rick has done the same thing as Adele. He has named the album after the age he was when it was released. Adele has 3 albums called 19, 21 and 25. Rick brushed this off as a joke, saying, "Haha Adele, it's mine, I got 50. Before I go any further though, let me play you a couple of his songs. His promo song for the album, Angels on My Side, and track 6, God Says Dance. Enjoy.
Don't feel like waking up. Wanna stay inside my dreams. Sometimes I feel like I am breaking up. Do you know just how that feels? Hope is for the hopeful. It's a dream that I really love. So only give me true. Don't fake it, I can't take it. My heart is close to breaking. It reminds me of my youth. Hope is for the hopeful. It's a dream that never fades. Faith is for the faithful. And I will not be swayed. 'Cause I got angels on my side. I got angels flying high. And everything gon' be alright. 'Cause I got angels on my side. Everything gon' be alright. 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 'Cause I got angels on my side. Oh yeah. Can you see him? Can you see him? I got angels on my side. Oh yeah. Angels flying high. And everything gon' be alright. Oh, 'cause I got angels on my side. Yeah. I got angels, you got angels, everybody got their angels on their side. Everything's gonna be alright. You got angels, I got angels, everybody got their angels by their side. It's alright, yeah. I got angels, you got angels, everybody got their angels by their side. 'Cause we got angels on our side. I got angels, you got angels, everybody got their angels by their side. Oh yeah. 'Cause we got angels on our side. God walks home through the local park, meets the devil with a broken heart. He says, I've been let down by the armies of darkness. Oh, my whole life's a mess. And God says, I got the cure. I'm holding on to something pure. I got the cure for you. All you gotta do is dance, pick your feet up. All you gotta do is dance, feel the beat, love. All you gotta do is dance, dance with me. Now the devil thanks God and is on his way, skipping his stride. What a beautiful day. And then along comes a slacker with some fun in his hand. Beelzebub knows he's got to save this man. And the devil says, I got the cure. I'm holding on to something pure. I got the cure for you. All you gotta do is dance, pick your feet up. All you gotta do is dance, feel the beat, love. All you gotta do is dance, dance with me. All you gotta do is dance, pick your feet up. All you gotta do is dance, feel the beat, love. All you gotta do is dance, dance with me. The trees became a multitude of angels, singing out like a gospel choir. And the branches in the palm rose up to become their chariots of fire. Oh, fire. Yeah. They rose up to become their chariots of fire.
And the benches in the park rose up and they danced with God and Beyonce.
God says, all you gotta do is dance, pick your feet up. All you gotta do is dance, feel the beat, love. All you gotta do is
was Angels on My Side and God Says Dance from Rick Astley's new album 50. Those two songs are definitely some of my personal favourites from 50. Angels on My Side has quite a strong gospel feel to it, with the instruments sounding quite rock, and it is super catchy. It also has a great video to accompany the audio, but I want to talk about the video for God Says Dance. Just from listening to the song, you can hear a story being told, and there is clearly some sort of religious imagery from the lyrics. For example, in the song, Rick Astley sings, God walks home from the local park, meets the devil with a broken heart. Straight away, this song is throwing religious figures and ideologies in your face, and it is a cheesy sort of storyline, but the video itself is quite eccentric to say the least. The whole video has a very dark cinematography, and it is a literal visual interpretation of the lyrics. There is someone dressed as God, another as the devil, and as the third man involved. And of course, Rick himself is in it between scenes. The video basically ends up with everyone dancing to get rid of their problems, and when Rick sings and the benches in the park rose up to become their chariots of fire, the benches in the park just set on fire. It's a very literal video, and you should 100% check it out.
I understand. I'm a wide-eyed father. Blessed are the children. Oh.
Unlike Rick's previous albums, 50 was produced, written and recorded by Rick Astley himself. He knows how to play a selection of instruments and had next to no help during the recording process of 50. Although this is super impressive, it has come at a price. As much as you love an album, when reviewing one, you have to pick it apart, even if that means finding faults. Taken from Robert Steiner's review of 50, he says that a few of the songs ended kind of abruptly, like the fade out was supposed to be added in post but it never was, and really the production in general could have been better. For an album that shoots for a gritty natural rock sound, the sleek production polish felt a little out of place at times. Before reading this myself, I couldn't find any faults in 50, but Steiner has a point. He also mentions the final song, Let It Be Tonight, and said that it basically wasn't a very strong end to the album. It was a spoken word sort of song, and in his words, tipped the scales from cheesy to cringe. I'll play you a bit of Let It Be Tonight to see if you can understand where Steiner is coming from.
So let it be tonight that we make up and we rid ourselves of all this confusion. Let it be tonight that we wake up and we commit to make a resolution.
The final song I want to talk about is This Old House, the fourth track on 50. This is a very simple song with quite a folksy tune to it. Each lyrical line is between 3 and 5 words long, and they get quite repetitive. To me, This Old House is a song which symbolises a place where Rick feels like he is at home, and that this place has seen him grow, have a wife, and keep him safe. Rick sings the lyrics, This old house is part of me, this old house is where you should be, which sort of furthers my own theory as to what the song is. When you listen to the song, it is very on beat and plain, you might say. This song is different to the dance tunes on the album, and it is something completely different to his old stuff like Together Forever. Astley has completely changed his style, and it is most obvious in This Old House, but it suits his new style and his age. Let's have a listen.
This old house is made stone, and this old house I call my home. This old house, well, it makes me wonder. And this old house, I'm all alone. And this old house, where I live my life. And this old house, gonna make you my wife. Yeah. And this old house is part of me. And this old house is where you should be. Can you feel it? is who I'll be. And this old house holds memories. This old house is gonna see me under. And this old house, and this old house, where I live my life. And this old house, gonna make you my wife. Yeah. And this old house is part of me. And this old house is where you should be. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Rolling over, rolling. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Rolling over, rolling over you. This old house is made of stone. And this old house I call my home. And this old house, well, it makes me wonder. And this old house,
That was This Old House from 50. Now, I have time for one more song to finish off this podcast. I've decided to treat you, and I'm going to sign off to one of the bonus tracks from 50, A Letter. The bonus tracks were only released on the US version of this album, so I'll give you a taste of what we're missing in the UK. I hope you check out the rest of Rick Astley's album, and I'll be back next time for the 4th round of True's Reviews. Here's A Letter. See you later.
we're no strangers.